In this video, we're going to be looking at a rule book for arguments by Anthony Weston. We're going to be looking at Rule 5, build on substance, not overtone. Okay, what this means is that when you're giving an argument, you should offer reasons, not just harsh words. Here's an example of harsh words. Having so disgracefully allowed her once proud passenger railroads to fade into obscurity, America is honor-bound to restore them now. Is this an argument for restoring more passenger rail service? Notice that there is no evidence for this conclusion, although it seems to be what the person who wrote it wants you to believe. What's going on here? What's even happening in this argument? Did passenger rail fade because of something America did or didn't do? What was disgraceful about this process? What does it mean to say America is honor-bound to do something? Have promises been made and broken? Who would have made them and who broke them? Instead, you should work towards good arguments. Look, there's a lot of good arguments in favor of restoring passenger rail. But none of them were presented in that passage. Sometimes brash words can convince people, but this doesn't mean that we should use brash words to make good arguments. As critical thinkers, and I'm going to encourage you very strongly in this course, we're looking for good arguments, not brash words. One last thing to think about. This is called being charitable. It's very important to be charitable to your opponent's argument. What this means is that when you present an argument that you object to, you want to make sure that you're objecting to the strongest version of the argument that you can think of. Now, you may wonder, why would I want to make my opponent's argument the strongest version that I can think of? And the reason for this is because if you don't object to the strongest version of your opponent's argument, your opponent has a much better weapon against you. Most namely, the stronger version of the argument that you're not considering, right? However, if you object to the strongest version of your opponent's argument, then you've accomplished something. It's also important not to use emotionally loaded language to express your opponent's position, right? This, I think, today is basically how all of our discourse works, and it's not great. So you don't want to put your opponent down. You want to actually present reasons why your opponent's position is not acceptable.